Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I want to talk about the top 5 position 4s of 7.30B. I made one of these videos for basically every single role, and honestly, it's been the hardest for me to make this video about supports. I actually don't think this is like the patch of dominating as a position 4. Let's say it was like the old Monkey King patch when the hero could buy Basher and just stomp games, you know. I don't feel like there's a hero that necessarily stands out in that regard. But nonetheless, I do want to talk about the heroes that are going to be more reliable in terms of winning you pubs and what you should do on these heroes, because I don't want to just give a list. I also want to talk about what you should do on these heroes to make sure that you can win and not just pick them. But yeah, without further ado, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and let's get into it. So, by the way guys, if you want to become absolutely broken, well, what you need to do is sign up to the gameleap website down below right now. The reason why you should do that is because every single day we post a new video there. Content that you simply just will never get on YouTube, we post every single day to the website. It's really top tier stuff. I'm very proud of what I make over there. We also have other creators, many of my great friends who are top tier Dota players, creating guides about different heroes, different roles, different items, skill builds, talent builds, everything you need to know to get to the next rank. So if you feel a little bit lost, you're a little bit stuck, click the link down below. I'll see you guys there. And now let's get into the video. Starting off at number 5, this one, I think this hero is a bit of a better mid laner right now, and that's Cuddle. Cuddle received a numerous amount of buffs in this patch. A couple things to talk about. His E is 2 seconds less. The Chakra Magic is a 2 seconds shorter cooldown at all levels, which is insane. That's a huge buff. His Q only takes 3 seconds to fully channel at all levels. So essentially, Cuddle right now is just a Q menace. This hero is one of the fastest farmers in Dota. It is one of the best wave shovers in Dota, and it's really good against the Zoo meta. So basically, Cuddle has a lot going for itself. On top of that, I think Cuddle is a pretty good hero against Slark, and I definitely think it's a good hero against Fen, for the pure fact that Blinding Light is just one of the best abilities in the game against these right-click based carries. And so Cuddle is just a good hero in this meta, and he received some of the biggest buffs of the patch. And so yes, I was serious. I think this hero is a better mid laner than a position 4, but even as a position 4, this hero has around a 51 to 52% win rate, and what is best is Cuddle is when you have this hero on your team, what I recommend you do is you pick it with a lane dominator. A couple of heroes I really like with Cuddle, I really like Pango, but I also really like something along the lines of a Slardar, and the reason why I like that, a Slardar or even a Spirit Breaker, is if these heroes don't take that much farm on the map, if your offlaner is a lane dominator, but then transitions into a roamer in the mid game, you can soak up the remainder of the space and basically take over the position 3 role. And I know that might make some of you support players uncomfortable. If it doesn't, definitely go for it. If it does make you a little bit weird to be saying like, oh, I'm going to be the offlaner as a support, you have to learn how to do this to win games. It's a very effective strategy of setting up better fights because you're pushing in waves and creating numbers advantages as well as tower pressure, and you're simply going to get big item timings such as Cuddle's Ags or even just a Glimmer and a Force Staff. Coming in at number 4 is a hero that actually has a sub 50% win rate, but I think that's because people either doubt in it, right? A hero that naturally will get flamed in pubs and will get given up on pubs is Pango 4. It's also a difficult hero to play. The Q is obviously a bit weird, his W is a little bit weird, and his ultimate is definitely very weird. So Pangolier has about a 49% win rate right now. Not bad, nothing terrible. The thing is, this is a hero I recommend if you want to dominate with it right now to spam it. It's a very feel-based hero. It requires 10, 20, 30 games to get comfortable with and really learn to min-max this hero's potential when it comes to trading. Shield Crash right now giving 15% resistance per hero that you crash on at level 1 for 5 seconds, as well as a 25% slow for 3 seconds, is a broken level 1 spell. It is literally one of the best level 1 spells in Dota, if not the best in terms of the value that it gives you. The thing is, I recommend picking Pango 4 with the following heroes. I really like it with heroes along the lines of an offlane Viper, a ranged hero that can follow up the damage. I really like it with TA if you happen to be playing in the safe lane. I know that might be considered 5 Pango. I'm just trying to give you an example of the heroes I like it with. I like it with Batrider to some extent. The reason why Batrider is not as good as Viper is a much better level 1 hero, and I like being able to put pressure with the level 1 Shield Crash and a hero that's good at level 1. Another good offlaner at level 1 is Leshrac. Another good hero is Pugna. You can kind of see the trend. Now, it doesn't have to be a ranged hero. I just like the ranged heroes because they can really trade hard while Pango tanks, but you can also get away with playing heroes like Mars, for instance. And why is this a hero good for? It's just one of the most disruptive hero in teamfights right now. It's that simple. The item build is very basic. You're going to go mana boost and a blink dagger basically every single game. If it's a good stick game, buy a stick. If you need raindrops, buy raindrops. You're going to have to buy a ton of clarities, so go that route. Then you're going to max out your W first. You want to be 1-4-1. You want to start the lane with your W. Take a point in shield crash at level 2. Take your E at level 3 if you think you're going to be going for kills consistently. If you're not and you're going to be roaming or farming a little bit more, like killing off small camps and maybe you have some lane, take your shield crash so you have a little bit more damage. And yeah, then you go 4-4-1. You can max your E if your team wants to rosh early on because the armor reduction is really good. But personally, I'm a much bigger fan of maxing out Swashbuckle so that when you are playing Pause for Pango, you can hit your blink dagger and Yule's timing because you can one-shot waves. The ability to one-shot waves in Dota is wildly underrated. People underrate how important that actually is, right? And so because Pango can one-shot waves with 4-4-1 build, he'll be able to get a blink dagger into a Yule's, into a shard, take his level 15 talent, which is 3 extra seconds, 3 seconds of duration on his rolling thunder, and chain stun people for 13 seconds straight. That is what he does. He's a good laner with the right heroes, and then just wins team fights. Coming in at number 3 is Venge. Venge, believe it or not, is the highest win rate hero on Dota buff right now. Can you guys believe that? Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit. Now, you guys know I've been raving about Vengeags. I've loved Vengeags for a while now. And you might be saying, Speed, this is a position 4 video. I thought you said Venge is an offlaner. She is. But trust me, this hero is a solid, very solid support in pubs. You just have to be very greedy. Once again, I understand that concept makes a lot of people weary. It makes them uneasy. They think supports can't farm. They think it's griefing. Honestly, the simple way for me to put it is you're wrong. Picking Venge early on, while the hero is not the best laner, is not that bad. For instance, if you pick it with something like a Tidehunter and you combine Wave of Terror with Gush, you can put in an insane amount of damage in lane. Stun into Gush into Wave of Terror is a stupid amount of damage. And you can imagine there's a couple of heroes like this. Mars is good, DK is good, Sand King's solid, Brewmaster's okay. Any of these heroes are not a bad lane. Even something like a Beastmaster or a Lycan who doesn't necessarily, need to crush lane at level 1 is nice as well. And honestly, the reason why I like Venge as a 4 right now is because of the Ags and the change to Nether swap. The fact that you can swap someone out and swap yourself in with 50% damage reduction and then respawn and do that again, right? Or stun again and Wave of Terror again and cancel blinks and give vision is stupid good. Yes, you do need a 4,200 gold item to come online with this hero. Now, of course, swap is still really good at defending towers. Let's say the enemy team's pushing your tier 1 mid, swap someone deep in, stun someone else, and your team's probably going to win the fight. But when you get the axe, it's just broken. It's gameleap certified broken. It just is. It's that good. And so yes, you will have to push in waves. I still recommend you max your stun though. It's actually a very, very high damage nuke. I don't think people really realize how much damage Venge stun actually does. It's 360 damage and it just feels like it chunks. It's on a 9-second cooldown and has pretty decent cast range. So really, she's not that bad of a stunner. Her Nether swap was massively buffed, and so I honestly think that this hero is much better than people believe as a position 4 and absolutely should be tried in your next game. Just hit creeps, okay? If the enemy team is pushing a tower, swap them in, right? If you have a Brewmaster with ulti, go for a kill, okay? But other than that, look for some waves to farm it up, stack some camps with Wave of Terror, right? The tri-camp is a great opportunity for Venge 4 because she can easily get a double stack off every single time, and that will give her a lot of gold as well, especially if you have a Sven or some other ancient clearing hero on your team. Coming in at number 2 on the list, we have Shadow Demon. This hero has definitely exploded onto the meta and is one of the highest win rate heroes in pubs right now. And honestly, I've been thinking about why I think Shadow Demon is good right now, like what makes this hero strong, and so yeah, let's get into it. So let's quickly talk about his buffs in 7.30. Number 1, Disruption was given 50 cast range, which is actually a ton. Like, you have to consider 50 cast range is the difference between saving someone or not, or being able to set up a fight or not. It's just massive. On top of that, Disruption has been buffed like a poop ton of times. I don't know if you guys realize this, but when you use Disruption at level 1, it creates illusions for 11 seconds. 11. You have illusions that do 60% of damage, right? Well, technically they do 30, but right, you have 2 of them. So you have 2 illusions that last for 11 seconds and do 60% of their damage. Most heroes cannot trade into that. And so what pros are doing right now is just casting disruption on people. On top of that, Shadow Poison got buffed at level 1. So this hero is a much better laner than what it used to be. Of course, the disruption changes are not all, right? The duration and the damage is not from 7.30, but that hero got buffed pretty recently in that regard. And then they buffed Shadow Poison early on, and they even buffed Soul Catcher, which is his W, which gives Shadow Demon temporary spell amp for every hero debuffed. So if you hit a 3-man Soul Catcher in the late game, you get 33% spell amp, which is a stupid amount of damage if you have 5 Shadow Poison stacks on someone. So this hero is a menace in the late game. Shadow Demon is one of the best, if like in some games, not the best late game support in Dota. And I'm not just saying, if you get good at spamming Shadow Poison, building up 5 stacks of maxed out Shadow Poison early into the game when you're level 7, you'll carry the early game team fights. Then, when the game goes later on, and you have your Aether Lens, and hopefully you're a high level, like 15, 16, basically how you execute the fights is you ulti the first person you see, you disrupt teammates if they need to be saved, otherwise you're going to disrupt carry heroes that are typically Agi based, so they do a ton of damage. The PLs, the Lunas, the Deuces, the TVs, and they are going to shred the enemy team. It is an insane amount of damage. The illusions do 150% of the target's damage for 14 seconds on an 18-second cooldown. It is a nutty spell in the late game. So is your ultimate, right? Because your ultimate basically is a hard counter to the consistent Yules, Ghost Scepters, Force Staffs that come out right now. Your ulti constantly purges, so it is a broken late game hero. Shadow Demon is definitely one of those heroes that people suck at because it's hard, but if you get good at it, and you learn how to spam Shadow Poison and connect with it consistently throughout every stage of the game, you will become a menace in Dota. And finally, last but not least, is kind of a boring hero, I'll be honest, it's Nyx Assassin. The hero's Axe is just still good. You kind of just pick the hero, and you max your Q, you max your E basically every single game. You buy an Axe, and you go in the ground, and you stun people for like 6 seconds straight, and mana burn them. And really, there's not too much to say about Nyx. I think the hero, was it nerfed in 7.30? And yeah, funny enough, Nyx was just straight up nerfed in 7.30, but it wasn't in any really major substantial way. It just was kind of a nerf to his base HP regen, Agi, and strength, which does hurt his early laning stage, but honestly, that's not really why you pick Nyx. You don't pick Nyx to dominate the lanes. You pick Nyx to just like be an annoyance in the lane, be a tank in the lane, which he still can be, and then drag waves, and then you get pickoffs with your level 6, buy an Axe, and win all the mid-game team fights. But alright, that's gonna be all for today's video. If there's a position 4 that you guys think I missed that should be on this list, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, we'll be doing another Guess the Rank soon. You guys got that video to 2K likes, which is awesome. So we're gonna do another Guess the Rank very, very soon. I hope to see you guys there. I'll post the forum on the gameleap YouTube community tab pretty soon. And I've been streaming on Twitch almost every other day, guys. So you should come check it out. The link to my Twitch channel is in the description. I'll see you guys there, and I'm out. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.